Hey guys, welcome back to Banished Souls. This is Cryptic Gaming 723. So, a lot of people are wondering, how do you play this game? What do you do once you get to St. Anne? The tutorial that they have at the beginning, the shipwreck, seems to lose people once they get here. So, we're going to go over some of the basic functions of the basic gameplay and how to find your missions and get rid of this dhow. So, first off, we are here on the dock, and your first mission is going to be to go see Skurlock. So that's what we're going to do. Just follow that dock down. There's your warehouse, your mailbox, and running right up next to it is where Skurlock's at. So make sure you check that mailbox periodically as you level up, because it's going to give you free gear, cannons, and things like that, armor, all kinds of different types of gear. But this is where you would go. I'm not going to activate the mission. Don't really have anything in there, so he's going to give you a mission to talk to the shipwright or the shipbuilder, and you're going to come all the way down here. This is taking a left off the dock, or a right as you leave Skurlock. Here's your shipwright. He's going to send you over to the carpenter, who's going to sell you some stuff you're going to have to build. Now, a lot of people are like, well, I don't have the ore or the iron or the wood because I sold it up here. I don't know why you're selling gear. Don't sell that stuff at all, because you can build free repair kits with it. I don't see why you would get rid of that instead of having to pay $100 for a rebuild kit, or $1,000 depending on what type you're using. You can just make them yourself. So we're loading in. So this is the dock. Right as you're leaving, you're going to turn hard right. There's a passage here that you want to take. And one pass through this passage, you should have everything you need. There are what are they called? Saltwater crocodiles up in this passage. So just watch for it. There's only 2 or 3, so it's not like you're going to have to really deal with a lot of stuff in here. So we're just sailing along. We will get here eventually. So as you coming down through here, you are looking for any of the resources you need. This is going to be where you get your, we got a saltwater croc, just a second. There we go. So that is a level 2 or level 3 spear, I forget now. But any other spear, the one you start off with, the wood sharp, it's just a stick with a sharp end on it. It's going to take you 2 hits to the head to take it out. But you come along here and you're just gathering your acacia wood. Because it's, everybody's in here, a lot of stuff's going to be harvested, but this is the area to get it. I think it reloads I think they said every 30 minutes or something like that. Or every 30 seconds, I forget now. But it's not, they reduced the time because they have so many people launching into the game. So you'll check that wall next to you. You're going to look for any kind of bog iron. You're probably not going to find any there. But there is a shipwreck at the end of this little slough. Just run out, grab your stuff from it. We're going to take you down through there. That's how you would fish. If you see fish jumping, you can spear them. And we're just coming out on the other end now. As you come out, head out to the left. There's a little island straight across there. Just on the left side of it is going to be a shipwreck. Perfect spot to pick up that gear if you sold it. Like I said, maybe you didn't harvest enough. I harvested everything I could before I left that shipwreck originally. But here is a ship that is destroyed. You can pick up, if it's saying, harvest, you can harvest the stuff as you come up to it. You can force it open with your crowbar. You want to hit that inside the little green area there in the center. You can pick it individually, or you can collect all like that. If you still don't have enough materials, instead of taking that point back in, you can just travel along that coastline and pick up materials all up through there. All up along the wall there is some metal and stuff that you may need if you didn't get what you needed. So now we're going to make our way back up to that passage. And that's all you want to do with a dhow. It is for hunting materials and hunting sharks and things like that. Those are some missions you'll have later if you enjoy that kind of stuff. So then basically you're just going to run back to St. Ann Port. And while you're doing that, basically you're just coming down through here, going to go talk to that shipbuilder again. We're going to take you to the refinery first and show you some basic refining. So we're leaving the docks, running back over here. Carpenter's on the left, shipwright's up top, refinery is right next to it, blacksmith's across from them. So you're going to come in here with all the lumber that you just got. And I don't think you actually have to do this with the Bedard, but this is how you do it for the Hulk or the other ships that you're going to open up if you're harvesting raw materials. And all you're doing is refining it into planks. It takes, I think it's 5 of each material to make one plank, or it may be 3. Maybe dependent upon the material. I usually harvest ships, personally. So then you come up to the shipwright, you would talk to him, and you would actually go in to craft a new item, at which point he's going to give you the Bedard, which is the first ship you're going to start out with that's going to be able to have cannons on it. And after you finish with this guy, he's going to send you out to the blacksmith across the way. So typically that blacksmith, he's going to give you the option to go ahead and move your stuff to the warehouse, which I would recommend doing. It clears the hold, so you can just put what you need in your ship, and then you can select to sell a new ship, or you can come over here to the dock and do it this way, which is where you will switch out your ship. It says change, And I am going to use my brigantine. I'm going to go ahead and bring the cargo with me because there's nothing major that. And there she is. So then you're going to come into manage your ship or manage cargo. You would move any cannonball material, mortar materials. I use a bombarder, so we have a lot of bombarders, and then we also have our mortar on the auxiliary weapons port, so which is mid deck, and you just move what you need over to it. So you're going to manage ship, and then you start with your weapons and just place your weapons in your port. So depending on the ship, you may have bow, and then you may have uh, starboard, such and such. You know, you might have a stern weapon. The early ships, you're just going to have the bow, the port, and the starboard side is all you're going to have. Then you change out your armor types. This type of armor here, the Royal Custodian, it is free armor, if I recall right. Yeah, so you get this in the merchant world, the world merchant mission that they do, where you have to attack the 3 merchant ships. It has 1100 base armor. 1150 is 24% explosive resistance, flooding resistance of 12, fire resistance of 12, and piercing resistance of 30%. Different types of armor is going to give different buffs. Some armors that are out there you can actually take, and when you brace your ship for ramming somebody, it actually restores your health on your ship as well. So that's something to look at. Then your furniture slots. So this is going to make it so that you can actually take and drop sail quicker and get more boost using the rope locker. It's one of the first ones you get, and it definitely saves you because you can sit still, and whenever they start launching mortars, just move out of the location real quick. It's a really good item to have on there. So your furniture is basically going to be the buffs that you have. So we have 5 furniture slots on this. We'll go through and tell you kind of what we got. But most of what I use is for the mortar and the bombarder. So we have a mortar's work. This multiplies the mortar explosion range by 10%. We actually have 3 of those equipped. I'm actually going to put a 4th one on it. I need to build that over in the carpentry area. It just really helps to give it a larger explosion when you're fighting. Yeah, so we're just kind of going through getting that set back up where we want it. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Then you can do your ship cosmetic, edit the name, things like that in there as well. Your cosmetics, however you want to build it. I kind of mix my stuff to make my ship look custom. I put a mask on my guy because, hey, this is Captain Cryptic. You shouldn't be able to see my face. But yeah, so your blacksmith, he's going to have your cannons. Obviously, you're going to buy blueprints and stuff through buy and sell. You're going to craft new items and craft new items. And then he has contracts. Pick those contracts. You're actually going to earn more silver and more infamy than what he shows here. You don't want to do these missions without the better, because you're going to need the cannons. And like I say, this is just what you do to start off with till you get the hang of just going out looking for fights and having a ship that'll compete. But I hope this gives you some insight into the game and what it is that you need to do when you get to St. Anne. So the mission lines: talk to Scurlock, talk to the shipwright, do your refining, talk to the carpenter, talk to the blacksmith, pick up what missions you can, and then set sail. Make sure you subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video, guys.